Have you ever read something that's just ridiculously funny, but at the same time surprisingly heartfelt? Well, if you're into that, you are going to love what we're diving into today, the charming and chaotic world of Sleepy Gimp Comics. You know those days where things get so weird, so surreal, that you kind of feel like you've fallen into a comic strip? For the characters of Sleepy Gimp, that's pretty much every single day. So let's jump in. All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at where the comic even came from. Then we'll get into its unique blend of humor and heart. After that, we'll meet the characters, break down that amazing art style, and finally, I'll give you the perfect reading list to get you started.
Okay, first stop, the origin story. I mean, every great comic has one, right? Let's dig into how Sleepy Gimp went from just a cool idea to a full-blown fan favorite.
So picture this, it's the early 2000s, and a single artist has this idea. They don't just want to make people laugh, they want to tell stories that actually feel real, even when things get totally absurd. And you know what? It worked. That mix of humor and heart really resonated with people, and the comic just took off. So, what's the secret sauce here? What makes this comic so special? Well, it really comes down to its core themes, this perfect blend of humor, heart, and just, complete and utter hijinks. When you really break it down, it's all about three big things. You've got these incredibly strong friendships, you've got these wild adventures, and this is the best part, you have those everyday struggles that we all go through. It's that combination of the epic and the totally mundane that just makes it so relatable. And this right here, this quote, just nails it. The characters find themselves in these completely ridiculous situations, but they're really just a funhouse mirror of our own challenges in life. The humor isn't just there to be funny. It actually means something. I mean, just think about making your morning coffee. It's about as normal as it gets, right? Well, in the Sleepy Gimp universe, oh no. You might just accidentally brew a magic potion that rips open a portal in your kitchen. And that's the charm of the series, that perfect blend of the mundane and the magical. Now, of course, these wild stories need some truly unforgettable characters to drive them. So it's time to meet the main crew that brings this entire world to life. First up, the hero himself, Sleepy Gimp. And yeah, the name pretty much says it all. He is incredibly laid back. The world around him could be descending into absolute chaos, and he's just kind of the calm center of the storm, usually armed with a witty comeback. And what's a chill hero without a hyperactive best friend to stir things up? That is where Wacky Wombat comes in. He's the one who's always bursting with energy, kicking down the door with some crazy new plan for an adventure. And rounding out our little trio is Nerdy Noodle. She is the brains of the whole operation. When one of Wacky Wombat's schemes inevitably goes wrong, she's the one who figures out how to build a time machine out of a toaster to fix everything. But Sleepy Gimp isn't just about great stories and characters. The art style itself is a huge, huge part of its identity. It's an absolute feast for the eyes. So what defines the look? Well, a few things really stand out. First, the colors are just electric. They pop right off the page. The character designs are totally exaggerated to make every joke land harder. And it all comes together in this incredibly fun, cartoonish style that makes the world feel so dynamic and alive. All right, so you're probably thinking, okay, I'm sold. Where do I even start with all this? It can be a little overwhelming, so let's get you a solid reading list. Okay, a few stories are absolutely perfect starting points. The Great Coffee Caper, yep, that's the one with the magic potion, is a fan favorite. And Gimp versus the Alarm Clock is another classic. They both just perfectly capture that signature theme of waging these epic, dramatic battles against totally mundane everyday things. And the best part is, they're all super easy to find. You can read them on the official Sleepy Gimp website, and you can also find them on big platforms like Comixology and Webtoon. Your next favorite comic is literally just a click away. So at the end of the day, Sleepy Gimp is so much more than just a comic strip. It's this vibrant, funny, and surprisingly accurate mirror of our own lives, our own ups and downs, all wrapped up in gorgeous illustrations and super clever dialogue. And that leaves us with one last thought, something straight from the heart of the comic itself. If you could take one completely normal, everyday moment from your routine and turn it into a massive, epic adventure, what would it be? Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.